Irwin Landscaping's exhibit offers a view to a garden that is bursting with color.
With flower power, you want to get a rainbow of colors throughout the garden.
A white pergola acts as a frame for the view, with a holly-covered fence offering privacy, as water bubbles up onto a leaf, creating a little fountain feature.
It just keeps it serene.
A path leads up a hill to a bench, an oasis of green with ribbons of color and the fragrance of perennials, annuals, flowering trees, and shrubs.
It'd be someplace where you would want to sit and just kind of look at your garden and see all this different color.
Hunter Hayes Landscape Design took the idea of flower power very seriously.
We were just drawn to that word power.
The centerpiece of the garden is an actual power plant.
In the form of a water wheel, which is, one of the earliest forms of a power plant.
You can walk into the old abandoned mill, look out the window on one side, and get a view of a meadow.
It's supposed to give the impression of a pollinator meadow for monarchs, bees flying around.
The window on the opposite side looks out onto a pond filled with aquatic plants that act as a filtration system for the water.
The water wheel is spinning. They'll be able to hear the creaking and see the water spilling and maybe get a little splash.
A rolling landscape features trees and shrubs to attract native birds and wildlife, and there are vibrant pops of color everywhere.
We love the flower show. It's a labor of love, lots of work, but it brings everybody a lot of joy.
Mark Cook calls his garden Breakout.
Inspired by bringing flowers and gardening into an urban environment.
With plants breaking out in places you'd least expect them. 5 gigantic trees are transformed into sculptures that stand 15 feet tall, surrounded by colorful hostas, azaleas, cherry trees, evergreens, and lots of colorful bulbs.
Our exhibit's a complete walkthrough, all concentric circles, and it creates this meandering walkway. And then within that walkway, we have bench seats.
A pool reflects the city skyline, and a garden designed to embrace the visitor and show the power of plants to create community.
I want people to feel a place of solitude, a place of peace, a place that they want to stop, stare, search, and wonder for things.
Stony Bank Nurseries created a children's garden to encourage kids to unplug and play.
From the devices and the smartphones and the tablets, we're trying to show how important it is to get out and experience and enjoy nature.
The garden is divided into zones. There's a rustic balance beam and a boat.
So a child could use their imagination to pretend that they're sailing in the seas.
And there are hidden treasures throughout.
We've constructed these beautiful little fairy houses that are tucked into the landscape.
There's a vegetable garden area where kids can learn about growing their own food, a sand area, and a buddy bench.
If you want a friend to play with, you go sit on the buddy bench.
But the highlight of the garden is the interactive water feature.
The water comes up, fills the cylinder, creates the cyclone. When you see it going, you sit there and you stare at it.
This is Stony Bank's 40th year exhibiting in the flower show,
which is a huge milestone for us. My father started the company, he's now retired, and we're carrying on the tradition.
The exhibit by Burke Brothers is called SARA'S Smiles.
Sarah was our daughter. She was diagnosed with a form of brain cancer in 2007 and unfortunately passed away in 2008.
SARA'S Smiles is the foundation that Jennifer and Kevin Burke set up to help other families in the same heartbreaking struggle.
We deliver sophisticated care packages to kids that are filled with all kinds of things.
For the first 8 years after they founded the charity, the Burkes held an annual plant sale to raise money for the care packages.
The plants can do more than just provide beauty in your garden. They can provide a source of funding.
The garden is made up of a series of rooms.
Very bold, very intimate spaces.
There are thousands of annuals and bulbs in gradating colors, and a treehouse serves as the office space for SARA'S Smiles.
She was always out in the garden with me, especially the vegetable garden. She loved that.
You'll also notice a dime jar. It's now the primary fundraising tool for SARA'S Smiles.
Anytime you have a spare dime, put it in the jar. For us, it really adds up.
So bring your dimes.